Is this your runway coat, like when you're interviewing celebrities?
I painted a guy gold once and I bought it for that. Because I was painting on stage.
You were painting a guy gold in
Yep.
front of people on a stage.
Yep. That's like every job I do.
We've been rolling, by the way. Hey,
That's
guys.
every job I do. Welcome to Marky Makeup talks about his career.
Well, this is it, guys. Day 4 of Wrestlemania, and we're going to talk about it. Night 2 of the Mania itself. It's been a long weekend, but it's been a good one. It's been fun.
Sunday.
Anyway.
WrestleMania Night 2. Bada.
Gotta spin it. Anyway, oh Lord. Let's get into her.
It's Bianca Del Derek.
I'm gonna preface this like I did the Night 1 video. I don't watch WWE. I only know about a few people here and there. I didn't have many expectations coming into this, but I did have some. I knew how over Bianca was. I knew how over Asuka was. I knew how tired everybody is from Reigns. I knew how over Cody is. I didn't know nothing about them 3 European dudes beating the snot out of each other. It was a lot. Let's go over it. So, where do you want to start?
First match of the big night was Big Men. Say it.
Big meaty men slapping meats.
Big meaty men slapping meats. Former world champion Brock Lesnar decided to grace us with his presence to hopefully put some shine on almost the Nigerian Nightmare at 7'6", however big he is. And did he? Not really. Brock Lesnar still won in the opening match. A little disappointed. This one is about as technical as you'd think it was. I'm surprised it went more than 4 minutes, and it did, and almost got to toss around Brock a little bit, but of course Brock won in the end, which was kind of but
yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Brock was wrestling back when I was originally watching WWE, and then he left to go pursue MMA or whatever. So I am familiar with Brock Lesnar. I have caught up on him over the years. As a wrestler, doesn't do it for me. As a performer, sure, there's reasons to fear him, reasons to like him, you know, this, that, and the other. Amos. He's something. You usually don't get guys his size that quick and nimble. And he's young and he's talented, and I was ready for it. I was like, yeah, take one for the team, Brock. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, a little disappointing, but not surprising. Brock goes on first, wins, and was probably back home on the farm before WrestleMania even ended. So.
Yeah, so, you know, whatever. That was a match. Didn't feel, I don't know.
Next one was the Women's Tag Team Showcase. Interesting, they always found a reason to have matches at WrestleMania to showcase talent, and now the reason is just to showcase talent, and they just come out and tell us. So we had a men's tag showcase. Tonight was the women's tag showcase. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, big strong girl, Natalya and Shotzi, great outfits, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, face painted like crazies, Chelsea Green, and Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville, of course, we stan. This one was a car crash of train wreck of painful things. Ronda and Shayna came out on top. They're trying. They're watering the seeds of a tag team division. So let's hope this is something to it.
I fell asleep.
Natalya was kind of the ring general. She had a moment where she did a double sharpshooter to the two ladies and rolled her over, and they look like a broken JPEG to me. They look like AI art.
I did see that, yeah.
But hey, it's fun. Again, you guys wanted a women's tag team division, then we gotta build it. So we're building. We're showcasing.
I definitely woke up for the next one. Next one had me wide-eyed. Wide-eyed.
Triple threat. You know, these guys are Slobberknocker, Smash Mouth, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Hunter. Hunter, which I have his name in all caps. Hunter. Sponsored by, alcohol. They wanted this one to be a bar brawl, Attitude Era style, and that they kept it in the ring. But,
when he told me that, I thought he was projecting his expectations into the match until Michael Cole literally said it in commentary.
He said
this was a pub brawl, and I was like, oh, that's really what they're going for?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought, if that's what you're going for, maybe make it a no DQ. Then I found out it was a no DQ. And it was an incredibly clean no DQ match. I don't have any complaints about it at all. All these men were really exciting to watch. It did become the... Gunther got lost for a long period of time in that match for a second there. I also thought, and this may just be the flamboyant nature that I have, I thought Gunther should have had some extras for his intro just to give it some pizzazz. They had this whole military thing going on, but it was just him and his two boys over there.
He was out with Imperium, and Imperium kind of introduced him, and he had an amazing oversized coat. That
a military coat, because he's the ring general,
the coat Gunther wears. And this one was Smash Mouth, Slobberknocker, Chop Fest. Pretty good. I was surprised Gunther retains. Gunther retained.
Yeah.
Props to Drew McIntyre's fantastic white kilt.
Fantastic white everything. You don't see all white ring gear very often because it's hard to keep white. It was a good match. It was, like I said, big meaty men slapping meats. Don't have any complaints about that.
Yeah, it was exactly what we all thought. If you saw the previous match, I think it was the SummerSlam one. If you saw that one, this one not quite as good. Maybe the last one in a nutshell, a little condensed, but you know what you get when you put these three in the ring.
No complaints. After that we had...
What's the next one?
Okay.
What's the next one?
What was the next one? Oh, we had...
Twirl your hair.
Anyway, the next match was Bianca versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. I get the two shows mixed up. Raw, right?
Raw. What championship was that? So I'm not even sure what there was the Raw one for the red belt. Yeah. Bianca Belair and Asuka. Asuka came out with 3 or 4 or 5 other Asukas.
The Onis.
Dancing with their masks, which was very cool. And I was like, this is awesome. Until I saw Bianca's entrance.
Agreed.
And that was bad.
And I have to say, we both agreed about night 1. There should be more pageantry in the entrances because it's
there was
WrestleMania.
Something missing about that this year. Maybe I'm spoiled, or maybe I'm remembering something else. But remember, the Undertaker came out with fire and monsters, and there was there was just a little something. There was pageantry missing. Roddy Piper came out with 150, policemen playing bagpipes. It just was kind of like.
Didn't John Cena crash into the ring once?
I don't know.
Got out of the Mustang right into the ring?
Yeah, like 150 people saluting him. I don't know. There was something.
Yeah. So I appreciated.
Not so Hollywood.
Yeah. But I have to admit, I appreciated that both Asuka and Bianca did something extra for the intros. And yes, Bianca's intro was adorable. It was topical. It was great. I mean, imagine being a little girl who, is a part of a step team or a dance team or a cheerleading squad and getting the opportunity to come dance at WrestleMania. Like, that's freaking awesome, Loved the intro. Loved Asuka's makeup. I'm not familiar with Asuka outside of her normal persona, but I guess there was some whispers of rendition.
Yeah, a lot of us have been saying, Kana's coming, the evil clown version of Asuka. I was hoping to see her win and go full Kana and heel out and cheat and win and just have everybody destroyed. Oh my God, Bianca Belair, she's so cute and nice. That didn't happen, but doesn't mean some part of that character will be coming soon.
I mean,
this was very evil clown.
I did feel some clown influence in the makeup, and she did try the mist.
She did try the mist.
The mist ain't legal, so...
This one was a good one. This is very athletic. I put it. I mean, I think I tie this one for match of the night, folks.
I thought it was a great match. I don't think it was match of the night, but I thought it was a great match. This is my first time actually watching both of them compete. I think I might have only seen highlights before, and they both lived up. Especially Bianca, her feats of strength are so impressive. Good match, great match, no complaints. Definitely one of the better matches of the night, but we've got a couple more to cover.
I will say, some of you are sitting at home and you know everything about everything. I don't think this was better than the Rhea Charlotte match.
No.
I don't think this was better. And I know, I said earlier, Asuka and Bianca saw that and they must have called each other the night before and said, what are we going to do? How are we going to make this better? Like, what are we going to do? So they kind of played up to Asuka's quickness and character and Bianca's strength being strength. And a lot of those things were highlighted. Fantastic. Don't miss it. That's not one to skip. Next up was another segment of The Miz and Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
which
God.
Is just...
Okay, no, I want to talk about it.
Well, this is the first... I don't know, man. I don't know. These two together, they're not jiving for me. This was another surprise match, a surprise opponent. The surprise opponent is Shane. Shane, who is not a competitor.
Shane McMahon.
Year round. He came out. He looked good enough.
Shane pulled a Vince McMahon. Back when Vince McMahon tore his quads trying to get into the ring. That's what Shane did. He did.
I think he would have been better if he tore him before he got in the ring.
So, when it happened, I says, he's really hurt. This isn't part of the match. He actually just hurt himself literally 10 seconds into this impromptu match. And that led to Snoop Dogg, who I gotta admit, I'm not really vibing with him in this scenario and in the mix with WWE, but he saved the botch. I mean, he did the job.
So there was, if you haven't watched it and you're just watching this, I think he went for a... This is literally it. Miz hits the rope. Shane goes for a leapfrog, busts out his knee, hits the ground. Now, usually, those of us who know, we're looking for this. Well, there was really no referee to throw it up, and we couldn't tell.
They crash zoomed on Miz for a prolonged period of time, which made me think something was wrong. He's trying to play it up, but he's also trying to figure out what to do. And then Snoop Dogg just came up in the ring and said, "Blap! Oh, you're gonna knock my boy out like that? How you gonna do that to my boy? Let me talk for a minute, and then blap, knock you out again." Whether somebody in his ear was specifically directing him, or they told him, "Save this," he did. He kind of did. It was messy, but at least he was able to save it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, this whole thing was a dumpster fire, downhill, headed towards fireworks factory. It is what it is. It's right up there with the rain delay WrestleMania. It just should be long and forgotten. None of these. The McAfee thing was fine, but this was the drizzling, folks. This was not even worth discussing any longer. Would not be the last time we saw the Doctors ringside. Which brings us to Hell in a Cell, the Demon Finn Balor versus, we call this here, the website I'm using, Wrestling Headlines, calls it WWE Hall of Famer Brood Edge. Now, a lot of the smart marks out there had heard Christian requested to go to WrestleMania and that was approved. We had read that in the dirt sheets. We also heard that Gangrel was en route to Los Angeles. And
let's talk.
None of that happened. He did the Brood. First of all, they used Slayer, which was awesome.
Hold on. Don't go to intros yet. Let's talk. This is the meat and potatoes of why I wanted to start a vlog / podcast like this, so we can get into the behind the scenes. We can get into the rumor mills, stuff like that. There are two sides of behind the scenes stuff I want to address with this match. One, there are the speculations galore. I was unaware of the speculations galore going into this, but as I started hearing about them and getting filled in, I don't see why we couldn't have the Brood there at all. I think Gangrel would have, he got nothing better to do. He would have showed up if asked. I think Tony Khan would have let Christian go if he had asked. If he did ask and he wasn't there, why? Who said, no, we're not doing that? I'm willing to bet it was the Vince camp.
I don't think it was any camp at all. I don't know what happened.
You think they just didn't even try?
I just think they said, can we get you, Christian? He said, yep. And they went, we'll call you. The entrance, do you want permission to talk about the entrance?
Yeah, it's getting the entrance. Go.
The entrance was a little confusing. He came up through the fire like the Brood would, and they'd have their blood or their whatever they had in their cups, and it was cool. His jacket was awesome. He had bat wings, but there was a disconnect, and not that these two things weren't awesome. It was just like, what? He had like a mirror human face mask on, so mirror pieces, and it came down to here. But the rest of him looked like post-apocalypse Bat, but his face looked like the Weekend, mirror ball disco.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what's going on with this look?
It was strange. It was the two together were strange. It definitely was a intense moment because you're looking like, what?
It was awesome, but I was like, why has he got that mirrors on his face?
Another issue that I had was one that we saw at night one when Uzi Vert came out. They only played a portion of his song before switching back to the tag team's music. They did the same thing with Edge. I don't know if they didn't want to pay full licensing fees. They only had to pay 15% if they played so much of the music. But they started with the Slayer.
The Slayer on Universal Music. Let's look at that. If he is, they should have just used it.
Yeah.
It started with Slayer and the crowd popped. And then it went into slow Brood. Boom, 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 boom. And then it went into... It was Brood. He took a couple steps forward. They zoomed way out. He took the mirror mask off. He took the mirror mask off, and then it was bang. The day, Mama Homer. And then he was Edge. This was like, I don't know. If it was greatest hits, it was like 3 strikes.
They should have just let the Slayer track play. It fit the mood. I mean, the mask was weird, but the wings, the red, the fog, the music, all that stuff was jiving perfectly together. They've made some really weird music choices this WrestleMania, and that one kind of bothered me for a smidge.
I'm gonna say, to clarify some things. Some people wonder how people get there, and it's all Universal connections. So if you are not involved with Universal, you are not going to be on a WWE show. Rick Rubin was in the crowd. Rick Rubin is responsible for Def Jam Records. Slayer is on Def Jam Records along with Universal Music, Island Def Jam Music Group, Rick Rubin. So it's just all you want to talk about the bloodline into the tree branches. It's all very... Rick Rubin probably said, you want a Slayer song? Give me some seats in the back in the front row. So, it is what it is, and none of it surprises me. But that's why we had... This was Rick, in case that's who I was talking about. He's kind of hard to miss. Right. So it is what it is. But that was innovative, wrestling's not always spot on with fashion or trend.
Nobody... So, in the end... Nobody got the special, cameos that they wanted to see, but the intro was special. It was different. There was pageantry, unlike some of the other folks.
Yeah, so the one thing it wasn't was bland. Yeah. So it was something to see. The cell came down. The cell was gray, and...
It wasn't red.
Square, block, and new.
So then we get into his opponent. And this is where that other half of the behind the scenes comes in. This half has a lot to do with this one.
It has nothing to do with me. If it had to do with me, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Let me explain it. So, if some of you guys don't know or you can't tell by the name, Marky Makeup is a makeup artist. Oftentimes, when we have shows coming into town, he'll apply to be a makeup artist at said shows, including some of these wrestling shows, because a lot of these talent use paint. He had applied for this.
You know, they got my resume. Call me.
He didn't get a call,
Call me.
but he does have that.
Who did.
He does have that professional eye, and he was kind of looking at what kind of paint are we gonna get? How are they gonna be creative? How are they gonna separate themselves from something they've done before? In comes the demon. And his interpretive dance.
Ladies and gentlemen, my phone may be listening. I have opened my phone. The top post is Finn Balor's head. And I'm going to tell you, that was my authentic reaction. Because this is gross.
Oh, you just saw his image?
I just saw it. I had opened it hoping to see something regarding his paint. Folks.
Well, wait, don't spoil. Let's get there.
It looks like special effects makeup in school that we would do. So his paint job, again, was the mouth, the teeth, the tongue. If some of you know when the demon was like, he was doing it all the time, or he was doing it once a month, we had like Jack the Ripper demon, or we had all these other things. I was hoping it was going to go head to toe, down to his knees, you know, something crazy on his back. And it felt well applied, but just the same. The teeth, the tongue.
I mean,
his beard was solid black too, which was very unnerving. Yeah. I would have put some stripes in there, but I would have glitter beard. No, but it just kind of felt like, a very well done, but same old teeth. The back said Balor, and it kind of had his face on it, which was expertly applied.
Yeah.
But the design of it, I want more. Go crazy.
Yeah.
Remember when he was like all white and he was black and green? The action figures they made. Where was it?
Like I said, I don't watch the WWE, but I know Finn Balor. I've seen all of his indie paints. I've seen a bunch of his WWE paints, and I thought, wait, haven't we seen this before? It's the mouth with the tongue, And then he had the hood with the dreads and the zip ties, and then he did the smoke bombs and did the under the bridge Garth Raver dance. It was ridiculous.
There was someone behind the camera handing him those smoke bombs. So you've seen the Halloween, the pumpkin head with the smoke coming out. You can get them $7.99. These smoke grenades or these smoke bombs. You hold them and smoke comes out. It's, a couple things were lost here. It was daylight still.
Yeah.
It wasn't dark. The wind was taking the smoke away. Some people called it interpretive dance. That's their point of view. It's ha ha ha. But it tried, but it didn't feel WrestleMania. It felt
weekly.
Monthly show.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just wish it was. I wish demons fell from the sky.
Yeah.
It was very good, but it wasn't WrestleMania great.
That's it.
There's a different level we expect for WrestleMania.
Exactly.
And if you have a 30-foot ramp coming down, you go, where is it? Where are the monsters? Now I'm going to tell you, no shade to Finn Balor, who brought out the Nevada LGBT kids, and to me was the most gobsmacking entrance of all time. Yeah. My jaw dropped. I had a pizza coming to the door, and I was like, oh my God, wait, I have to see this.
Yeah. Finn is he's a favorite amongst us because he acknowledges us.
Yes. He wore the rainbow gear for ages, and I think he's phenomenal, but we want more.
Yeah.
Well, guts hanging from his beard.
I will say some people from our camp were glad to see him back in the trunks and not the long tights.
To see him in the demon briefs. Okay, folks, who wants me to show Derek this is the grossest thing I've ever seen.
Wait till we get there. We're not there.
The grossest thing.
We're not
I'm going to show him.
Tell
us in the comments what you...
We're not there. Let's get to that point and then you can show me. So, here's the thing. In AEW and in the indies, blood is common. We know if there's a light breeze outside, Samoa Joe's forehead's going to leak. We know if you cough on him a little too hard, Moxley's gonna leak. These are things I'm used to. I did not know until they literally paused the Hell in a Cell match when Finn took the bump from the ladder in the head. I did not know WWE was a PG promotion. I had no idea. I thought at the very least it was PG-13. So to see an entire WrestleMania match paused and the camera stuck on Edge just so they could buy time, I had no idea what that was about. We had friends live in the stadium who were so far away they didn't know what was going on. They couldn't figure out why did this stop all of a sudden.
So if you haven't seen the match, Hell in the Cell, we had a red kendo stick, a purple kendo stick, like they were demon weapons. We had a purple table, like it was a demon table, and then Edge brought out a ladder. I don't know if this was Edge. Sometimes it's the guy, sometimes it's the other guy. Edge threw the ladder to aware Finn. I don't know if Finn lost it in his hands, but he put his head into it, and folks, so he was in a very, very, very bad place. So what Derek's talking about, the camera was on Edge.
Yeah.
As Edge set up a table, set up a chair, set up a ladder, very tight on Edge. We never saw Finn, but we saw the mat was.
So the only reason why I was complaining. I'm like, what are they doing? It's just a cut. That happens all the time.
We absolutely cannot see it.
And then I'm like, okay, well maybe he didn't blade himself. Maybe it was a real cut. They just want to make sure he's safe. But still, it's just a cut. You don't pause a WrestleMania match because of a cut. But apparently it was bad.
We don't do blood on WWE television.
It
doesn't matter if it's accidental, if it's self-imposed, which it has been a no-no for years.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Austin got in trouble for doing it at WrestleMania 13. And Brett got in trouble for doing it too. And he said, it was an accident, hit my head. You go, okay, maybe. Or, the time Randy Orton told Brock Lesnar, just hit me as hard as you can until I bleed. So the guys do go into business for themselves. They're not supposed to. And because of the PG obligations to the sponsors, Snickers, and the Exorcist of Russell Crowe, whoever
Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Mountain Dew, whoever brought us these shows, they want PG content, and those sponsors can't say, Starburst can't say, look what we got, and it's Finn Balor. Well, do you consent to see?
Yeah, let's see how bad it was. Let's see if it really was that bad.
I see how bad it is. I have no idea how they stopped it. If someone tells me in a week this picture's fake, I'll believe it. Because it's one of those pictures that is it's on his Instagram. And it wasn't even flagged on mine. It may be flagged when you get to it.
I'm not going to show you guys. You have to look it up yourselves. I'm not trying to ruin my videos.
This is in the top 5 of wrestling gruesome. Yeah.
Top 5.
This isn't the top. This isn't Sid. This isn't that. It's not Broken Bone. This is right up there with the Bob Holly through the table back. Some of you guys know that one. An old school Southern guy would say stuck pig is what you would call this.
Wow. Wait.
No wonder we didn't see it, because it's completely in his hair.
But I don't understand how.
Because he went like this into the ladder.
That's kind of crazy.
Wrestlers do this thing where they say, don't stitch me up, take a picture, Effie. Mick Foley, don't stitch me up yet, we gotta take a picture.
Okay, first of all, I don't know.
How big is it? It's 8 inches.
It's half of his head.
About.
I don't understand the angle, how that got like that.
Because he ducked into the ladder.
It looks fake. I know it's not, but it looks...
Oops, I should have warned you, I'm zooming in. It can't be makeup because of where the hair is. I mean, it would be Oscar winning.
Ew. Yo.
It is not. It is not PG.
Crazy.
Chimed in.
That is crazy. Well, I don't know how he wasn't bleeding even more in that match. I
Get
assumed.
the receipts. I don't know how he was even thinking. His
I
head didn't
assumed
fall
they
open.
just jumped in and threw some staples on him or threw some super glue on him, but yeah, I don't know how he finished that.
Yeah,
match.
clearly this has
Yeah.
just taken all the headlines out of everything.
If you have a strong stomach, see if you can find it. If you don't have a strong stomach, don't look.
If you folks, it's not
Don't
okay.
don't look.
All right, so moving right along,
Woo.
the match was good after this happened. We don't know how they fixed him up. I have no idea. Science, anticoagulants, new skin. I don't know what they used to stop it, but there was the blonde lady with her old school doctor bag, and we saw her pull it away and hide under the ring.
Yeah.
Hide away. But it was good. There was furniture, tables, ladders, a good high spot from Finn, and it was really good. Something may have been lost because of the head injury, but
I'm sure there was. Like I said, I was annoyed that the match was paused. I actually liked the way it ended. I liked that it ended in a concerto because that's what Finn and them had done to Edge's wife. So I was okay with the ending. I was just annoyed by the pausing midway through. Now knowing this, now I'm even more impressed. Good on you, Finn. He's a tough cookie. Shice. Ooh. Anyway, moving on. What was the next match? Was it the match? Was that one the next match? Is it?
I've lost it.
What happened after Hell in a Cell? I know it was a whole lot of stalling.
After Hell in the Cell, this show seemed to move quickly, but because there was not a lot of wrestling on the wrestling show, there were not a lot of matches. But
well, like we speculated, the Shane bit probably was supposed to go a lot longer.
We think the Shane bit was supposed to maybe add a couple minutes and maybe a couple minutes to the Hell in the Cell match. But I guess this. I don't know. Don't know the call sheet, but if it was supposed to end at 8:35 was almost exactly when they went off the air. So
yeah,
I think it went off the air at 8:35 last night too.
I was
California time.
Yeah, I was expecting it to go to 9. I was expecting an hour-long fight from Roman and Cody, and I think we almost got that. We were close.
There was a lot. So the next one, you're saying a lot of delay. We had a lot of commercials.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We have a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah.
If you don't have Peacock Plus, you got double commercials, which I do not. Like, comment, subscribe, and maybe I can pay $4.99 a month for Peacock. So we had a segment to honor the Hall of Famers.
Oh,
Pretty
I forgot about that. Yes.
A kind of a mixed bag of Hall of Famers this year. I wish it was more Hollywood, but I don't know. I don't know who's left to put in the Hall of Fame that was SoCal related or Hollywood related. I mean, Roddy Piper's already been in. It's like, who do you put who's in the movies or movie related? So we got Stacy Keibler was Dancing with the Stars. The Great Muta never worked a day in the WWE. Andy Kaufman never worked a day in the WWE, but he's Hollywood related. Tim White, who got the Warrior Award, he was a referee for a long time and a character, and I think he owned that Friendly Tap bar that the Acolytes always had, the barroom brawls. See, I don't know if Derek remembers barroom brawls. That's what this would have been. Sheamus, McIntyre, and Gunther would have been a barroom brawl if this was the Attitude Era. Tim White, it was also a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people know, was Andre's interpreter and was Andre's assistant all those years. Has since passed away, but those were the
and of course
Hall
Rey
Mysterio. If you ever heard of Rey Mysterio, I don't know. Rey Mysterio,
in his 3-striped Adidas suit.
This is his Adidas suit. Yep.
I'm like, that's kind of cold. I mean, an Adidas suit. All right, okay.
He did. He's always been an impeccable dresser. So those were your Hall of Fame. A little Hall of Fame segment. You know, they come out, they wave, they shake the award.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Short class this year, and announced really late. I feel like there was something a little amiss with this. I don't know if it has to do with the Vince controversy and people distancing themselves from I don't know what's going on.
I didn't think about that. You're right. Yeah,
there's something was a little pizzazz that may have been missing. But anyways, main event. Roman Reigns, Cody. Cody absolutely killing it, and this is gonna be we're just gonna do fashion. We're gonna do a fashion show episode.
Let's
That's all
do,
gonna be it.
yes, that
Cody,
entrance.
he came up through the floor, right?
Okay, did he?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah.
We know Cody loves his jackets, his robes. He's been doing them since he was in Japan. He did it at AEW. Of course, he's gonna do it in WWE. But this one was cold. That jacket was gorgeous, and then it had a cloak with like Victoria's Secret quality wings attached to it. Like, oh my god. Oh.
So he comes up and his back is to the crowd. Our camera is on his front, right? Isn't that how it happened?
Yep.
It kind of like it flipped right as we started to see wings, and I was like, oh my god!
Yeah.
It's like, go back to those wings. So it looked like it, and it's funny because some of the people were saying Homelander, and it's like I think these WWE people haven't seen his previous robes that are red, white, and blue and patriotic in theme.
Yeah.
People were like Homelander cosplay, and I'm like, well, you're 3 years too late for that joke, but that's okay. Welcome to Cody Rhodes, new WWE fans. He had the Sergeant Pepper kind of captain jacket, band leader jacket with big epaulets. The big epaulets were a cape that connected to wings.
Yep.
He got down to the ramp, unhinged the epaulets and the wings, and the shoulders had...
She had a reveal, honey.
He had a reveal. The shoulders had the scale mail, which is the popular thing he did. And the big
and the coat was
family.
Closed. Normally he wears it kind of open. It was closed. It was fitted. It had so much accoutrement.
Yeah,
it was gorgeous.
It was the modern day Ric Flair robes.
And then of course, I freaked out because he went over to greet his wife, Brandy. He went over to greet his baby girl, and then he took his lifting belt off and handed it to -1. Brody Jr. was in attendance, and I'm freaking out because I'm like, -1 is that WWE? Don't take him from AEW before he even starts. God damn it. I'm still very upset for Cody abandoning us at AEW, but it is what it is. Then you had 6 pianos for Roman Reigns to come out to, partially, before his original music came on again. I don't understand this trend. It's weird.
Cody had 2 musics?
No.
Roman definitely had.
Yeah.
Roman definitely had a symphony of things. This kind of had the WrestleMania feel, or it was reaching for WrestleMania feel. There were like 6 pianos with 6, I would say, diverse piano players, but we never found out who they were. And they gave us a little ditty for about, I don't know, 2 minutes, 90 seconds?
Maybe.
Then it cut to his canned recorded music, and the piano players just stood there.
Yeah, it stood.
As Paul Heyman and Roman and Solo walked past the pianos. I don't know. Folks, if you want live music, when Jericho came out to the choir, and that one female took us to church with the song... Now, I know Jericho didn't invent music. He didn't invent sing-alongs. But when she took us to church with that, oh my goodness. That is how it's done. It doesn't have to be complicated. But it can be great. I don't know what the 6 pianos were. I don't know. Were they scholarship recipients? Was there an outreach involved in this? I don't know.
And then let's get into... the fashion. Fashion police this. What fashion? You know, like Roman wore what he always wears. Solo.
He wore 2 belts in the leg.
Solo was in ring gear.
And he left wearing 2 belts in the leg.
Hey. Solo was in ring gear even though he wasn't supposed to be in the match.
He was like sporty spice.
The only thing different was they wore their leis. Paul Heyman had the chili peppers. They could have did something. They could have did. It's WrestleMania. Do something. Just even if it's not expensive or major, just anything kind of different. Any kind of pageantry. That's why you're on such a huge stage. This shouldn't feel like a weekly show. This should feel extra special. And I didn't really feel like there was anything extra special about the Bloodline tonight. It
took very long for Roman to get to the ring. Michael Cole was giving all the stats. Oh, he's the top 4 of all time. Only other guys, Bruno Sammartino, oh my gosh, 900 days, this, that, the other thing, and he's giving the Paul's holding the bell.
Paul was spinning narrative, honey. He was saying his goodbyes. He was depressed.
Very worrisome. Oh yeah.
He was frozen and in terror the majority of the time. The match.
It didn't end the way I wanted it to.
I said Cody could carry this match if he brings some of his Bullet Club and Elite influences into it. He could give us flair. He can give us dramatics. I said he had the cardio. Roman's got the cardio. They can go an hour. The wrestling itself, it was okay. Nothing special. The narrative, the story, the underdogness of it, Solo being there to cheat, to give Cody an additional obstacle to overcome. That was what made the match for me. The drama of the match was there. I loved every minute of it. And it ended.
So I wanted one-on-one. I wanted the story to boil down to 2 superstars. And maybe I'm old like Vince, and Vince likes one-on-one. He doesn't, he wants to see one guy versus, the 2 Titans battle. He wants, Andre and Hogan at the top. Solo interfered, and, they gave him the big baseball throw out. I was like, okay.
That was an obstacle,
bad, but okay, fine.
Against all odds.
It broke down to the Usos came in with Super Kick Party, and then KO and Sammy hopped the guardrail. And so we got this handful of circus.
Even though they had their own main event.
They did. They had their own. Get your own main event. They got their own main event. They came back and got some more. The match went about 30, I'd say 35 minutes, maybe 45 with entrances.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a lot of Cody threw out every Cody cutter, every uppercut. I don't know that I saw the great big elbow, but he put in.
He did the bionic elbow.
Did he? He put in Dad's figure 4.
He did gold Dust's poke, his uppercut.
The drop down uppercut. I just think, separating my feelings, this would have been a huge exclamation point on the Roman Reigns reign if he had lost the belt in grand fashion at WrestleMania to the new hot kid or an icon,
the
an
comeback
heir,
story.
Call it what you will. There was a time when Cody hit him with a pedigree. And had he pinned him with a pedigree, because we all know him and Triple H are a little, If Cody had pinned him with a pedigree.
Yeah. He brings up a good point. Sometimes we get caught up in who's going to win the match. You don't think about how a person loses the match. Would it be more memorable if Roman's had lost it in front of 81,000 people at WrestleMania, or, in front of a couple thousand at SummerSlam, this is the place to do it. He's going to lose the belt at some point. He has to.
So help me as I sit here. If he loses the belt tomorrow on Raw, so help me as I sit here, because it's a little late. I'm reading the internet as we sit and do this podcast. I'm scrolling and reading the internet. People are big mad. They did not want this.
And you know what? AEW has done it before.
It would surprise me zero if he loses it tomorrow on Raw. To who, I don't know. But if I was Roman, I would look at the belt and I would say, and I know maybe the egos are a little, my ego's pretty big, folks. But I would say, you have to have your bookends. You have to have an amazing start, an amazing win, an amazing reign, and then you bookend it. It has to be an exclamation
Amazing
point.
finish. Yeah. Something
I would want to lose it at WrestleMania. I would
something
want to lose
people
it at the
would talk
grandest
about,
stage of them all.
you know.
And say, and then these two titans, and he was
I
built
remember in 2023
and now
when
it's gonna
Roman
be,
Reigns lost the title.
Yes.
You know, like that's how
now
you would.
I think it's going to be. When did he lose it? Oh, WrestleMania. Oh, no. He didn't lose it at WrestleMania. When did Reigns lose it? I don't remember.
It might have been
I don't know.
Backlash.
I was at summer camp. I think he lost it when I was at Comic-Con. I can't remember. I didn't see it. I was busy we were at Wasteland, and then I think he lost it at Great Balls of Fire. I don't know. Did he lose? When did he? NXT.
Oh, I think it was after
remember.
Saudi Arabia wiped the slate clean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, it was before or after the sale of the company. Oh, yeah. Then they sold the company and they took all the belts away.
It was right before AEW took over.
Yeah,
and,
there was a Tony Khan thing.
Did anybody see the April Fool's article that went out that said...
That said WB combined with Tony Khan
buys WWE for $10 billion.
Not far-fetched, but shenanigans. As we speak right now, at the time of recording, the hot rumor is Endeavor, but folks, major acquisitions can take 30 to 90 days. So nobody's just going to sign over a company.
Yeah, there is some talk.
The stock people have to vote on. It's just complicated. You don't just say, Vince just like, oh, okay. All right, would you like a receipt? You know, you don't just Apple Pay a company. So we'll see. We'll see. Either way, the internet is a buzz with the ending. And sometimes in my heart of hearts, that's what I think Vince and Triple H want.
Yeah. They
want to poke us to get us talking. As I sit here, it would surprise me not if Roman loses the title tomorrow night.
I could see it happening.
To Jay White, who makes a surprise.
Oh, don't
start.
Who
makes a surprise.
Please, no. They're not ready. Jay White joining WWE, yes, would mean he'd make a ton more money than he's making now. But
well, you don't got his receipts.
All of his talent would just go unused. I know I'm coming down on WWE, but I've learned a lot about WWE this weekend that I didn't know. And I'm glad these guys are being safe with their talent. We want these guys to live a lot longer than the legends before them. However, there's some exciting, hard-hitting stuff going on in other places that is also safe. It's just done differently, and that's the stuff I'm liking. I'm really, really jiving on right now. But if anybody can weave a narrative and tell a story, it's certainly WWE. So I love getting filled in on all that kind of stuff every now and then. And that's going to be the formula for my podcast and vlogs going forward. I'm going to talk about AEW because I follow that regularly. And when I get the opportunity to follow GCW and all these other indies, we're going to talk about that too. And I would like to have friends come and fill me in about the WWE stuff. So unfortunately, until I can afford to hire some friends, I'm only going to have Marky on these videos with me every so often.
Somebody give him some money.
I would like to reach out to some of my friends that have the time to maybe phone in for, weekly fill-ins. Maybe if this picks up some traction, I can book some talent to come and give us this.
If you're in Southern California, slide into the DMs over here.
I'm saying, I would love to have Speedball Bailey come on and tell me about, his weekend. I'd love to hit up, Anthony Bowens between pay-per-views and say, how's life? Tell me all about it. Please adopt me. Anyway, so that was WrestleMania. This was our long, crazy, crazy weekend. These are the debut episodes of my Wrestling with Boys podcast / vlog. And, keep a lookout for more content. It might take me a while to build some traction here in these early weeks, but eventually we'll get into a routine. And make sure you go and follow this guy. He's got tons of stuff happening all the freaking time, man.
All the time.
And it's not just wrestling related. It's all kinds of travel and
music
Hollywood and amusement parks. And
if you want to see CM Punk act silly at San Diego Comic-Con 2022, check it out. It's a pretty high-rated video. Him, Darby Allin, signing on the San Diego Comic-Con floor. And who knows what I'll see at San Diego Comic-Con this year, because I'm going to be there. No spoilers, but I got music festivals, art, shenanigans, silliness, theme parks.
Yeah, go follow him. He's jack of all trades over there. And if you're feeling so inclined, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll move out of Marky's garage here and maybe, set something up in my apartment.
I'm not letting him out.
But yeah, I hope you guys stick around for a while. I plan on making a bunch of these, and I want to, get something moving here. Queer fan podcasts about your favorite, weekly wrestling shows. Why not? There's a ton of others from other perspectives out there. There's not a whole lot of us. So come and join us. And we'll see you later.
Yeah.